All right then, and we are back for day 4 of our course on how to launch your web store and shipping business in just 5 days. So by now you have a functional front end of your website, you've got shipping materials on the way, and you have a lot of your products set up. So I haven't gone to the next steps of kind of setting up this store just because this is a test store, but yours should be looking a lot more finished by now. So let's just get back into it. And at this point, your payment gateway is set up and your shipping settings are configured, but you're not quite ready to take orders because you just want to test everything and make sure everything's working well. So let's go ahead and do that. So what you first want to do then is just place a test order. And since you have these bulk packages and they're going to be pretty big bulk packages of like $200 or something like that, you probably don't want to place a test order for this much money just because, I mean, because you're going to be paying with your credit card. And even though if you refund the order, the money's going to come back into your account, or if you just, you pay into your own account, basically, that's all fine. But the thing is, Shopify does charge that 2.4% or 2.9 or whichever plan you're on, that transaction fee. And if you're going to pay a large amount of money like this, then you're still going to lose that 2.4%. And that starts to add up if you buy a big package like this. So if I were you, I would just create a new product. So you should have a bunch of products here, but they're all packages. So they're all going to be kind of higher dollar items like that. And so if you want to just create a new product, you would just click on this, and I might just click duplicate and just create a fake duplicate product that I price at just $10. And then don't forget to delete that, of course, when you launch your store. Otherwise, someone can buy your ground beef bulk special or whatever it is for only $10, which is a great deal for them, but not so much for you. So I'm going to just say test product and just price that at a pretty low price so that I can place a test order and not pay very much. So actually there are two different ways you can place a test order. You can actually place a test order and pay with your credit card, or you can place a fake test order and pay with a fake Shopify credit card and put your store on test mode. So you're actually going to maybe want to do both, because I would still want to pay at least one with my credit card just to make sure that the payment is actually coming through to your bank account. Because if you place the fake test order through Shopify and their fake payment gateway, the money is not actually going to deposit in your account. So you want to make sure the money is actually coming through to your account. And so that's why I would place both a real test and a fake test, just to make sure that the money is really going through. So there is my test product, and I believe, so remember when you create a product, you have to add the tag that goes with that collection. So your collection for sampler and bulk packages, right, you said that the tag for that is packages. So that's already added just because I just created a duplicate product and that was already automatically included. But normally, if you were creating a product, you would have to add that tag. So anyway, now that we've created that, let's just click the little eye thing here and go preview the store. Okay, so I'm going to just add that to cart, and it should be showing up down in featured collection. Boom. So whenever you add a new product and you make sure it's tagged in under that collection, it'll just automatically show up on your store, which is really nice. So I'm going to just add this to cart as soon as it loads. Yep. Okay, so actually real quick, I'll explain what this Buy It Now button is. That's if someone is enrolled in Shopify Pay. Actually, it's just Shop Pay, and that's just a separate thing that Shopify does. It's not affiliated with your store. It's just Shopify's own program. And if someone signs up for it, it's kind of like Google Play on your phone. So Google Pay on your phone. So if you sign up for Google Pay, then anything Google that you go through, those details will automatically autofill. So Shopify is kind of the same thing. If someone signed up for that, they can click Buy It Now, and it will still, though, apply shipping. And you can disable the Shopify Pay thing if you go to settings and checkout, I believe it is. Let's just actually make sure of that really quick. Actually, I'm just going to, not get into this because we're doing the test product thing now. And I'll just include a link below the video here in the course on how to edit your Shopify Pay settings, or maybe not even a link. I'll just put that below. It's a little checklist on how to do that. So anyway, though, we added that to cart, so I'm going to go save view cart now. And I'm going to remove the ground beef bulk special because I must have added that before. Now, when I'm about to click checkout here, it's not going to work, and you'll see why. Checkout isn't available because you must pick a plan. So before you can start checking out through Shopify and having people pay through Shopify, you have to pick a plan. It's kind of a bummer, but the reason for that is because Shopify has these different credit card rates per plan, right? So the $29 plan was, I believe it was a 2.9. I can't remember. We'll wait for that to load. And that's just a credit card fee for when someone places a transaction, Shopify gets a little cut of that. So see, it just depends, that fee just depends on which plan you have. And so Shopify needs to know which plan you have before you can actually run checkouts through your store. But let's just say that you have activated your plan. I'm not going to do that here because this is a test store and I don't want to start paying for a plan. But let's just say you choose this plan, get it activated. Pretty simple to just follow the steps through on that. And then you can place your test order and just follow through the checkout, make sure everything's looking good there, and make sure you're pretty happy with it. Remember, anything you want to edit on the checkout, you can just go right here and customize how that looks and what that says and basically the words there on that. You can also go to online store here and then click and wait. Okay, so then you can also go to online store and click edit languages, remember, and there are some words at the checkout that you can edit there. So those are both places where you would edit the checkout, and both are a little different. So it just really depends on what you're wanting to edit. So just check both places. If you see something in the checkout that you want to change, it's probably in one of those two places. So anyway, though, let's say you went through all this and you bought your $10 test product and you processed it with your credit card. I'll show you in a minute how to process a test credit card, with Shopify's like test gateway, so you're not actually paying. I'll show you in a minute how to do that. But for now, you just process an actual payment with your credit card. So if you wanted to see then the order, let's talk about managing that order in the back office. So once you made that payment, that order should show up right here. And again, because I didn't actually go through, I don't have the order here. But I figured I would pull up a test order that we placed on our store, on our Alder Springs store, that was a test order like that. So here's this, okay, and we're in our back office dashboard. If I went to orders and then I would just click on this order, and then you get to access the whole information about this order. So anyway, I'm gonna move down a little bit. There we go. Okay. So we just bought a $10 product. See, we just bought 1 pound of ground beef, and we did have to pay our flat rate shipping. And then here's just kind of all the details of that order. You can see the customer. It was just my mom, so it was just a test order done by one of us. And down here, you can see various like changes and stuff to the order. Okay, so this is where you could leave a comment to other people on your staff so they can see that you made a change to the order. So say 2 people are looking at the back office, you can say, hey, I refunded this order X dollars or something like that. And then whoever's looking at this order isn't confused and they know that what you've been doing. And also Shopify tracks any changes on the orders, even if that wasn't posted as a comment. So say you wanted to refund part of the order or all of the order, you would just click refund right there. Okay, so here I can just say I want to refund the entire ground beef. So I would just click 1 or 0, or say I ordered 5 of them, I would just keep clicking until I hit 5. And now it's just going to refund the customer all of the ground beef. But maybe I would also want to refund them shipping. So I'm going to just type in the entire shipping amount. Now it's refunding them the entire order. Okay, say I only wanted to refund part of the shipping because say the shipping was actually cheaper than I anticipated and I want to give them a refund on that. I'm going to refund that, but maybe I don't want to refund the product. I'm just refunding the shipping. I can say that, except I moved too fast for our slow internet, so it didn't work. There we go. But now it's saying, it should reload in a second, that I'm refunding just $15. Yep. Here, I'll just move over here. Okay. No, yep. Okay, that works. Yeah, whatever, I'll just leave it there. Okay, so anyway, I just refunded $15. And then if I want to actually, when I'm ready to make the refund, I can just click that button, and that's going to send a notification to the customer that you're issuing a refund if I've checked that box. So say I actually wanted to edit what the notification looks like, I just click Control-click to open it in a new tab there. So that'll take you immediately to notifications. It's just a shortcut to get to edit your notification settings. And if we wait... Okay, yep. So order edited, they would get a refund. They would get that notification if, say, you added another product to the order or took a product out of the order. Order refund, they would get that notification when you sent a refund on their order. And let's actually just see what that looks like real quick. Yep. So you've been refunded X amount. This will show up there. And then the reason for refund, we added that. Your template won't have that. We added that to show up. But you can add that. It's just, I'm trying to think of, I don't know, that gets kind of complicated and we maybe don't want to go into that. So you can send the customer a separate email telling them why you refunded. But there is really no way to add a note saying this is why we refunded you, unless if you basically code it in kind of like we did, which you can do. I'm just not sure if I want to go into that because it gets kind of complicated. Okay, I think I'm just going to not get into this on how to add the reason for refund thing. If you really want to learn how to do it, you can send us a DM on Instagram and I'll get back to you. Or you can, yeah, maybe I'll just give you my email address so you can email me about it. But it's probably not worth getting into here, and it is a little bit complicated, so I'm just not going to go into that. So anyway, though, you can edit your notifications there on all of these things that get sent when you change or edit an order in any way. So here then I'm going to send a refund. You can add a reason for refund that your staff can get notified. So maybe refunding. So you can notify like other members of the staff, and that'll just show up as like a comment on the order on why you refunded. But unfortunately, there's no way to let the customer know why you refunded unless if you do the thing that I was just talking about that gets a little bit complicated and involved. So you can just send them a separate email telling them why you refunded if they really need to know. So anyway, I just refunded, and that should then go through as an email. Okay, so say then I wanted to do something else with this order. Maybe I wanted to edit it. So I can do that, and by editing it I can add another product, or I can take out a product, or whatever I want to do really. So I'll real quick actually just show you how to add. So say I want to add another, maybe I want to add a chicken. I would just search the name of that, and we're out of stock on quite a lot of stuff, so I can't really. But you can actually add an out-of-stock item to an order, so but it will automatically take it out of stock. So even if I add an out-of-stock item, it's going to just say -1 now in stock if I add this. Okay, so then I can just go ahead and send the invoice to the customer when I've added this, and they will get a notification that they have to go and pay for it. So they do then have to go and pay for it. Unfortunately, there's no way to automatically charge their card. So just click send invoice though, and they'll get an invoice to go and pay for that item. So another thing is you can add a custom item. So say I wanted to add just a little bit more shipping. Say their shipping for whatever reason was going to be more expensive, I could just add another $15 in shipping, or say they really wanted like some beef liver and I happen to have some extra, but I don't have that listed as a product because you just have packages, right? So you could just say, and then you would just price that at $10 and say done. Okay, so then you can just send the invoice for that. So pretty straightforward on editing the order, and you can also remove an item and take that out of the order, just like that. So, and when you remove an item that's in the order, it will get refunded. So if you want to remove like some ground beef from the order, that would get refunded. Okay, so more actions. Let's see if there's anything to go over here. Duplicate, you can just copy this order and create a new one. I don't know why you'd want to do that, but sometimes you do. So yeah, that seems about all that there is there. Pretty straightforward. So now say you want to fulfill the order and ship it. Well, that is where things get really easy. So all you got to do is click create shipping label there, and Shopify is going to automatically generate a shipping label for you. So that's really nice, right? Because you don't have to go into that and deal with anything with UPS or anything like that. So I'm just going to select my package size. So it's going to be my regular box, right? And then the total weight with package, you would have a scale in your packing room, remember, if you ordered the scale. So you now know your total weight after you've packed the box and everything. That's when you want to have the actual weight. So maybe the actual weight of this box came to, let's just leave it at 15 pounds because that seems about right. And then it's going to give you a shipping label. And you can do signature required. Or you can just leave it as is. So just select your UPS ground option and buy the shipping label. Now that's a price estimate. Okay, so the actual price will be like recalculated when it actually ships, but that should be pretty close to what the price is, especially if you got your box sizing right. So make sure your box sizing is right in shipping settings. If you're not sure how to do that, go back to day 3 of the course and that covers it. So anyway, when you click buy shipping label, which I'm not going to do here because I don't want to buy one, it will give you a shipping label that is ready to print. And all you have to do then is just print it out and tape it onto the box and you're ready to go. So after that, let's go back. And so when you buy the shipping label also, it'll automatically fulfill the order and give a tracking number. So you do have to, I think, check a box that says add tracking number. So now I'm going to mark this order as fulfilled. And here, if you have a tracking number that you want to manually paste, so if you didn't print the label via Shopify, which I don't know why you wouldn't, but if you didn't, and you had the tracking number from maybe another shipping service or something like that, you could just copy and paste it manually here. If you did print the tracking label via Shopify though, it should automatically enter that and automatically send it to your customers. So that's the really nice thing. You don't have to deal with anything like that. And then if you didn't print it via Shopify though, you would enter the tracking number and the carrier, and then you would click fulfill items. And then you also want to send shipment details to your customer to notify them, and that'll also send the tracking number out. And then just click fulfill, and that order will show up as fulfilled on your website and no longer show up in your, it will still show up in your list of orders, but when you're ready to print orders, it won't show up there. So that's kind of nice. So another thing you can do is, oh, actually, when we said mark as fulfilled back there, that's a good thing. You can say print packing slip, and that is just going to print a piece of paper that can go in your box that you send to your customer showing them what was in their order. So that's kind of nice because it automatically just prints that. So should load here. Yep, okay. So you just have that and it's ready to go in your box, and you can just print that out. So there is another way to automatically print all of your orders, and that is, we're on the Alder Spring store right now. I'm just going to leave that and go back to the test store. Okay, so if I want to go to apps then, you can, remember when we installed Order Printer on day 1, if you haven't installed Order Printer, just click visit the Shopify App Store here. So I just click control click because I like to open it in a new tab because I like to have like 40 million tabs in my browser. It's nice. So anyway, control click, to visit the Shopify App Store. Wait for that to load. Okay. And then just search order printer. And there are a lot of different app options. If you want to see all the apps that we use, go back to day one of the course. I think that is day one. Yeah, I think on day one we listed all the apps we use. So if you want to see that, that's great. You probably won't need all the apps we use because some of the stuff we do applies just to what we're doing or to a la carte or to nationwide shipping or something like that. So then you just click add app and it'll automatically install it, and you just go through the steps required to install it. It's pretty simple. So now order printer, if I click on that, okay, it might not load anything. Yep, so since I have no orders in my store, I can't print anything. That's sad. So I'm actually going to skip real quick to the Alder Springs store where our order printer app is, and you can see how that all looks. Okay. Loading. Okay. So anyway, say I want to print some orders. All of this should be blanked out down here right now because I don't want to show our order details, obviously. So just click unfulfilled and partially fulfilled to sort it. And these are just the orders you haven't shipped yet or clicked fulfill on yet. Okay, so then I'm just going to click the box here to select all orders. That just selected 50 orders. It can only select one page at a time, so if you have multiple pages of orders, you're just going to have to do this one page at a time, which gets a little bit slow, but it's sad. So you can just click the arrow, the next arrow down there to go to the next page like that. Anyway. So now I'm just going to click not fulfill orders because that's going to automatically fulfill all of them, which would be awkward because it's going to send a notification to your customers. I'm just going to click print with order printer. And that's going to load. It takes a really long time to load sometimes, especially if you've got like 50 orders that you just selected. So you can select them in like groups of 10 or something too. That works fine. It's whatever you want to do. Oh, see, it couldn't even load them because it was too many. So I'm actually not going to select all 50 this time, maybe. I might just go back and select just like a few. Okay, you can't see because I don't want to show order details, obviously, but I just selected like 3 of them, and now I'm going to say print with order printer. Okay, so anyway, I'm not actually going to run through too much on this, how to edit it or anything like that, because you can actually go with the packing slip that they provide, so just, not the packing slip, the invoice that Shopify provides. That works pretty well. If you want to use the invoice that we use, that's fine too. You just say add template right here. So I'm going to control click so that it opens in a new tab up here. And then I'm going to, we'll give you a code that you can paste in here to create your template. So all you got to do is wait for it to load and wait for it to load some more. And then okay, so just enter what you want to call your template. So maybe order invoice with, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. just so that you know what you're looking at when you're ready to print your orders. And then I'm going to give you a code that you can just copy and paste in there to create your template. So it's really pretty straightforward. I know the code looks confusing, but just copy and paste this. That I'm gonna paste it at the bottom of your at the bottom of this lesson, and just paste it in here. So copy all of it, paste it in there, and then click save, and that'll create your template for you. And you can just print stuff using that. So anyway, I'm going to leave all that behind now and head back to our test store. Now, let's kind of wrap up where we were. So remember, with orders, if you place some orders, you would have them listed here. You just click on one to edit it, issue refunds, whatever you want to do. You can click on it to fulfill it as well, and you can print out your own shipping label, and the tracking number will automatically be added. So anyway, we talked about how to test it using your own credit card by creating a $10 product and just buying that product to make sure that a payment is going through when you place it with a real credit card. But how do you test it using just a fake credit card that no payment actually goes through? So you can just test all the payments you want, but it acts like a real order, but you're not actually using real money. Okay, so the way to do that is to go to Settings and then Payment Providers, like I just did, and then click Manage. Okay, and then at the bottom here, just check Enable Test Mode. Now, the thing about test mode is that when you have this enabled, you can place an order through Shopify's checkout without actually using a real credit card and without actually spending real money. The problem with test mode is if you don't turn this off, nobody will be able to check out on your store. So you have got to remember to come back and turn this off. Otherwise, your checkout system won't work. But if you have test mode enabled and you click save, then you can place all the orders you want without actually spending any real money, and you can test everything, and it'll show up just like a real order in your Shopify dashboard, and you can test that out. So though, remember to come back here and turn off test mode. So it'll just show up right here. Just click turn off test mode when you're ready to be done. Now here's the thing though, even in test mode, you still cannot accept orders on your store because you don't have a plan. So select a plan first and pick out your plan and get that done. And then you can go start testing out orders and use the test mode, and also you can start placing real orders with your credit card. So you want to do one real order with your credit card at least, just to make sure that your credit card payment is going through to your bank account. Otherwise, yeah, that's that. So it will take a day or two for the payment to come through to your bank account if you place a real order when you're not in test mode. So to see when that money is coming through and how that's all working, you can just click View Payouts right there, and that will show it. One last thing about placing orders in test mode, though, before we move on, is that you've got to use a Shopify credit card test credit card number that they give you. If you use your real credit card number or a credit card number you make up, it won't work. So you have to use their test credit card numbers. And to do that, just Google testing Shopify payments, or just click the link I'll give you below this video. That's and you'll find the credit card numbers there. So anyway, that is all set up. Now the last thing that you're going to have to do is click Online Store. And by now you should have done a lot of tests. So you should have run through your whole storefront with a fine-tooth comb and make sure that it's looking the way you want it to be looking. 2, you should have placed a couple test orders and make sure that's all working. Make sure your notifications are working and you like the way that looks. 3, you should have kind of gone through all your products and make sure they're looking the way you want them to look, and make sure they're priced the way you want them to be priced. So finally, after you've kind of gone through everything, double checked it, make sure it's all right, then you can finally go here and click Disable Password. Okay, and when you click that, you basically make your store live to the world, so anyone with the link and the domain name of your store can come and access it and start checking out on your store. So remember though, you got to pick a plan first. So pick a plan, make your test orders, switch it out of test mode. Don't forget to switch it out of test mode. That's important. And then you can disable password protection. And once you uncheck that box, then click save, it'll be disabled and live to the world. So last thing, you want to make sure your product inventory is in too before you go ahead and do all this. So go to your, just click inventory, and here you can just add or set the amount. So you can either add, say, I just got in 10 new ground beef packages. I can add 10 and click save, or I can set my total amount to 10, like that. And that's just how you change all your inventory. So it's pretty easy to just click products, inventory, and just go through and edit inventory whenever you need to do that. So that is pretty much it, I think. I think that about covers it. Of course, if you've got any questions, just DM us on Instagram and we'll get back to you if we can. And hopefully that kind of explains, though, the basic rundown of setting up your Shopify store and getting it ready to go. And tomorrow, you will kind of announce it to the world. So go through all this today, deactivate your password, activate your plan, deactivate test mode, test an actual order with your actual credit card to make sure it's going through, and then tomorrow you are ready to go live. So that's exciting, and I'll see you then.